It's Jules Chabot here, Celtic wildlife artist. How are you today? I hope you're very well. Quick notice, our internet Wi-Fi provider is working on things, and we've had a little bit of trouble with the signal earlier, so I'm hoping that I'm all right for today. But if it does go off or it pauses, hold fire, because it may come back again, and fingers crossed it will be absolutely fine. So that was a little bit stressful, but we seem to be on live at the moment. Welcome to everybody joining. Hi Francis, hi Stuart, and Castle House Nottingham, welcome. You're very, very welcome. And for all of those joining perhaps the replay as well, welcome to you all as well. As you can probably tell, today is Beaver Wisdom. I've had an interesting week thinking about which species and who it was going to be for Friday, and then it all became very obvious, as it tends to do, when I wasn't really focusing on who should it be this week. And the beaver came out loud and clear for a number of reasons. So first and foremost, before we delve into their beautiful wisdom, this is my piece of art, the heart-shaped beaver. And a few weeks ago, I sent off a graphic digital image of this piece to the Beaver Trust, who are based down in Devon in the UK, and I said to them that they would be very welcome to make use of this image for any of their merchandise if they wanted to, completely royalty free, and all of that sort of thing, so they could just use it, and then any proceeds they make I would be delighted about. So I was thrilled to get an email from them, I think it was last week or the week before, saying we finally got them up on our shop, and I had to buy, of course I had to buy one. This is lovely, they're all organic cotton and made in really green and eco-friendly ways, and the print itself is beautiful, as I'm sure you can see. So if you're interested in having a look, because they've got men's, women's, children's, and even a tote bag as well, then all you need to do after this live is hop onto my my grid page, Jules Chabot Artist, and then click my little bio link, and then you'll see at the bottom there's a link that says Beaver Trust merchandise. You just click on there, scroll down, and you can choose whichever category you want to go into. We've got lovely colours, a lovely range of colours, t-shirts, sweatshirts and hoodies, for men, women and children, and then a tote bag, as I say, all with this beautiful boy, which I'm very proud of and very happy to be supporting the wonderful work of the Beaver Trust. So all proceeds from anything that you order will go directly to the Beaver Trust. So, and they ship worldwide, so pretty much everywhere. They have a big list on their website of every country that they ship to. So don't worry if you're outside of the UK, you can get your paws on this beauty in various different colours, shapes and sizes. So that was my first piece. It was very exciting, and I'm very thrilled and honoured to have my art helping to support the Beaver Trust. Secondly, what also happened was I remembered, well, a week on Monday, which is I think the 4th, where are we? Yes, 4th of December, looking at my planner. I'm lucky enough to be going over to Willington Wetlands, which is quite close to me, about 15 minutes drive from here, to have a second visit, actually in the wetlands, with the Derbyshire Wildlife Trust. And I'm really excited and honoured to be taking the successful bidder from my Bid for Beavers auction back in May. You might remember that I had an auction for the original piece of the heart-shaped beaver, and a lovely lady called Margot, who's been a big fan and supporter of the beavers at Willington since everything started a few years ago. She successfully won the bid, and we've arranged between us, the Derbyshire Wildlife Trust and myself, to take Margot and her husband to go onto the wetlands so that we can have a look round and see what the beavers have been up to in readiness for winter. And I'm so excited. We were supposed to go in November, but the torrential flooding obviously meant that we humans weren't able to deal with the conditions there, but I'm sure the beavers are absolutely loving it. And there's 2 adults with 2 kits in the particular area that we are visiting, and then there's a further 2 beavers in a different location at Willington. So that's really exciting. So I'll give you an update on that, and I'll see if I can do a little video whilst I'm there on the 4th of December. So hopefully, even if we don't see the beavers, because I don't want to disturb them, and we definitely keep our distance, if we don't see them, I'll be taking notes and filming the signs, their lodge, their dams, what work they've been doing, and you'll see the amazing ways they cut down the trees that they're coppicing, which is all amazing. So that's that. So let's talk about beaver wisdom, because that's why you're here, and I want to dive into that. Now, I called this Purposeful Action because I tuned in to the beavers and their beautiful energy, and for me there's a lot around them, as there is with all species, but what was coming forward at this point in time was the concept of them being very, very focused on their purpose. And I think if there's anything that we humans can do to improve the way that we step and tread on Mother Earth, it is to get clear on what our purpose is, and to do that to the best of our ability, so long as it is in balance and in harmony with nature and the natural world, and it causes no harm. And so that's what I want to focus on. So beavers, you may know this, so if I'm teaching you to suck eggs, please forgive me, but bear with me. They live in family groups, so they can live in up to group sizes of 10. So it'll be the parents and then their various offspring over numerous years. And they work together as a community. And so I think the call for us to come back to connected community, whatever that looks like for you, it might not be family, it can be like-minded friends, acquaintances, even working in business, working with people that you are like-minded with, and collaborating and creating good out of the work, the service that you're offering. And I think beavers show this in such a beautiful way, because the work that they do to protect themselves, to provide an abundant, healthy, happy lifestyle for them, also has a really beautiful ripple effect out to so many others. And in the case of nature, it's so many other different species and types of being, right from, you know, the trees and the grasses and the plant life and the flowers, right through invertebrates, insects, and then into mammals, and of course into the bird life as well. And it's so inclusive, and although their purpose is very much about them living in harmony and balance, their output affects and supports and encourages and benefits so much more. So for me, this purposeful action is all about that willingness and determination and resilience to choose to be and do things in this world that are positively impacting ourselves and all around us, whatever species, whether it be other humans, but also going out into our beautiful brothers, sisters, cousins of all different species that share this stunningly beautiful planet with us. So that's the first one. They're also brilliant eco-engineers. So again, such a massively positive role model. So how we can become eco-engineers in our life, you might think, well, how does that relate? We're not going to start building dams and creating coppicing and all that sort of thing. Maybe some of you are coppicing. But it's about how we live and what products we use in our household. Is it damaging the earth, the air, the soil? What clothing we choose to wear, how is it sourced and where is it coming from, and how do we buy and how do we recycle and how do we reuse and repair and mend, how we eat and the choices that we make about our food, whether we waste food, all of these things. There's so many choices that we can make as independent beings that affects everybody else. And that's, again, for me, one of the reasons why I love beavers, because they are very, very good at living very lightly, as most animals are, and trees and insects. They're very good at taking only what they need and utilising it to the fullest of its ability. So there's no waste, there's no unnecessary hoarding or stockpiling or, taking for the sake of taking and just, throwing things away. There's no landfills in nature's world apart from us humans. So we can all think about that and think about what small steps can we take, multiple steps preferably, to help to be more beaver, which I always think is a good thing. And also, so they realise, I don't know how far this realisation goes, and I'm not going to debate it here because that's, I don't think we know as a species, but I'm sure that animals in their natural environment have an awareness and an understanding, and I'd go so far as to say a respect and honouring of other species. And so that interconnected awareness is very important for us, I think, in our evolution at this point on the planet. We rely on so many others, and even if we're the most selfish person in the world, which I'm sure you're not, we must acknowledge that if we are dependent on others, whatever species that is, it is in our best interest to protect and nurture that interconnectedness and that dependency. And I do wish we could bang the heads together of many, many of our so-called world leaders to get them to realise this and to change things significantly. But individually, we can do that for ourselves, and we can ask and vote and all those things to try and collectively make positive change. So they cooperate for the common good of all, and I think that's beautiful. They also, one of their key roles in their ecosystem is they slow down water. And that slowing down of the flow of water creates massive abundance and fertility. And it also helps us by reducing the amount of localised flooding. And we have had a role to play in a lot of that flooding that we're seeing, and we've certainly been seeing that in the UK recently, with the way that we've tried to manipulate and change nature's laws through various means. And I'm not blaming, I'm just saying as a fact there are things that we have done, like building on floodplains and the way that we have farmed the land in many instances, so the water's running off, it's coming off so fast. And the water systems that we have created, man-made, are really not effective to the extent that nature, left to her own devices, is. So we need to think about how we can slow down ourselves. And our mass conditioning is all about faster, 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 isn't it? More, 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 more. As if there are no limits, and of course there are limits, and we are starting to bump up against them. So this slowing down, I was pondering this over the last few days, I think as a species would be a very beneficial thing. So again, as an individual, I've been slowing down which has been predominantly by enforced illness with my migraines, hormonal migraines, and yet it's been teaching me so much about when I have time restrictions because I'm unwell, when I make choices, I have to prioritise more carefully, and I have to clear out all of the unimportant stuff that I perhaps would waste time on that's not so important, and I have to really focus on, okay, I can do one thing today, what's it going to be, and choose wisely. So again, without the need to have illness, choosing our priorities for what we're most passionate about and taking those actions, I think, is something that the Beavers teach us really, really well as well. So what is your purpose? What's your passion? That's my key question for you today. What is it that you care most about? Sometimes it can be seen from the what is it that, you know, really upsets you the most in the news or when you're reading. What is it that you care most deeply about, and how can you help in your way? And everybody's circumstances are different, so you know your particular set of circumstances, and you know what you can and can't change and what you can and can't do, as long as you're being really honest with yourself. So imagine if we were all serving with purpose and thinking carefully about what we do and how that affects the all every day. It would certainly have a massive positive impact in the world. So I think the last thing about beavers, and then I will stop, is balance. They have 24 hours in the day. That's all they get. They sleep in the daytime predominantly, so they're the reverse to us. But then at night time, they make choices and they balance rest and reinvigoration and restoration with focused, wise, prioritised action. And again, that's something that we humans could really learn from and remember, that we all get 24 hours. We're not getting any more. We don't get any less, but we don't get any more. And it's up to us to make decisions and choices about how we spend those hours and what works to keep us and our world in balance. So there you are. That's my lot on Beaver Wisdom. I'm just going to show you one of my little mini limited edition prints so you can have a closer look at the heart-shaped beaver and his lovely energy. I'm not sure what he's nibbling on there, but it looks like he's enjoying it. And I hope you can feel some of that beautiful energy. They are really quite big animals. I don't know if you're aware, but they grow up to about 1 metre in length. So I think they are the second largest rodent in the world. And they are magnificent and they're so powerful. So that's that for today. The only last thing I wanted to mention is for those of you that are local to Derbyshire. Oh, thank you, Francis. That's really kind of you. She's saying how beautiful. I'm going to be at the Peak Village retail centre, which is up near Bakewell, on the 2nd and 3rd of December, which is not this weekend, but the following weekend. And I will be bringing a lovely selection of my Wild Britain collection for you to view and to purchase. I've got cards, calendars, prints and a few originals as well, and my book. So if you are able to come up 10 to 4, Saturday and Sunday, I'll be there with my lovely hubby David. I'll be bringing the heart-shaped beaver prints and cards with me if you love him. If you can't make it, you can have a look at them all over on my website, which is juleschabot.com, which again you can get to easily through my bio link. So there you are, Helen, you're very welcome. She says, very interesting. Thank you, Jules. Oh, Jules, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully, health-wise, internet connection-wise, I will be back next Friday, which is, where are we, the 1st of December. So I don't know who will be sharing their wisdom then, but I will let you know. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd love to get your comments and your reactions, particularly in the replay, because they stay and encourage others to be able to watch it as well. Thank you so much. I wish you a beautiful day. Hope you can embrace Beaver wisdom of purposeful action and give some thought and take some action around that. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Lots of love. Bye for now.